All right. Um, Here's my picture of Picasso. Um, so I'm in Oroville, at my mom's house. Currently, 2018. Um, and let's see what else. It's like the 27th, 26, 27. It is the 27th. Okay, so it's a Saturday. So I haven't made a few videos. I haven't made many videos since I've been in Oroville. I just got my internet a couple weeks ago, like the 17th. So the last video I made, I was talking about different options of work and jobs, getting trained through the county for some graphic design stuff. That didn't go through, you know. So that's fine. The main thing is my art stuff that I'm working on at the moment, but business stuff. Anyway, that's not really what I'm here to talk about. So, so I had a few ideas that I haven't been on here talking on YouTube for a couple weeks. I don't know. It's not really that fun to go outside and whatever. So it's easier now that I have internet. I can load up these videos, and then it could be horizontal and look good, and as opposed to going on live where some of the videos didn't turn out and wasted my energy talking when there's no sound. Anyway, okay, so 2 minutes in, a few things. That's kind of what has been the issue too, is I haven't been able to focus on what I want to say. You know, I got so many things going on in my mind and in real life as far as goals and things I want to get done, like we all do. So a couple things. I'm gonna change these video blogs into drama blogs, because that's really what this is. And I really don't want to focus on my drama, but like I said, I have to empower myself by yeah, with some truth into that mix, for my own life, so for the people that like to that are confused maybe, or don't know what's really, you know what I'm saying, like, this is for my family, this is for my acquaintances, this is for people I used to know, people that I'm gonna know, which is the most important, or not the most important part, but you know, I don't really want this stuff to affect my future accomplishments as an artist and as a human being. Um, so yeah, so no, the one that the video went out, I had talked about the importance of how social media has changed our reality of how we interact with each other. Some people are like, "Oh, if you don't have a Facebook, how do we know who you are?" Which is super ridiculous, but it's happening. It is happening. So, and before whether I go offline or whatever, I'd leave my freedom as a human being, my options open. I don't really feel the need to be online, but I am. Some people call me a Facebook whore or whatever. They've been saying this for a long time, and maybe it's true, but at the same time, like, I don't know. maybe attention. I think that's where, do I like attention? Maybe my personality does. Maybe that's kind of, but really, if I wasn't, if I didn't have nothing to say, I wouldn't really say nothing. That's, it's not the funnest. Everybody knows it's not the funnest to put yourself out there and to have people talk about you or know about you, or like, because with the good always comes the bad. So who, like the saying goes, who wants to be who wants to be famous anymore? It's not really that fun. But at the same time, I really feel like I have something to say as an artist, as a human being. So that's the reason why I keep persisting in creating and sharing my stories. Because at the moment, I'm not able to express myself freely, because some people are like, oh, just get a, don't worry about it and whatever. But yeah, everybody has to live their own life, and this is part of mine now. So a few things I wanted to talk about. Okay, so I'm changing these to drama blogs. Why? Because this is drama. It's totally separate from everything else that I'm doing in life. But I feel the need to do this first, or during. I just have it so artists, people that are in the public eye, can express themselves, who they are, and whatnot, and my ideas and ideals and reasons why. We all live in life. I'm too. I'm not some person on the video camera or whatever, or on social media. I'm living real life, just like all of us. I try to respect everybody, whether you're Donald Trump or you're Obama or whoever you are. Yeah, so I just happen to live this fucking crazy life. Excuse my language, but at the moment, it's not more crazy than anybody else's. So, but there is like some weird stuff been happening in my life, and that's probably why you're watching this video, if you are, and that's why I'm here on this. Okay, so another part of it is my art, and I got to make a living. I got to make my money. I got to do the things that I set out to do to begin with, and those things are going to be in a new video blog, and then they're going to be my art blog or something like that. So, and in those ones, I'm going to start talking about art, my real ideas, my real thoughts on us as human beings and what we're here to do, and from an artist perspective, because I feel those are the ones that are my most important ideas at the moment, what I've thought about the most, and I have some stuff to say about art and creation. Like, it's my expertise, I guess. I don't know what that really means, but I think about it. I've dedicated all my years to it. Okay, so this blog, it's gonna be funny, because before I go into some extra drama stuff, I'm going to talk about movies, Hollywood movies, ones that are current. And so this is going to be almost like a movie review. And the next one is going to be older movies. I just watched this a movie, a movie, Jessica Simpson. It was this one, I don't know what it was called, Blonde Ambition. So I thought that was pretty crazy. That movie was pretty funny. Never thought I would watch a Jessica Simpson movie and think it was really good, but that one I thought was pretty good. Anyway, so let's go to, and when you watch that movie, you're gonna understand like how crazy that movie is. If you watch a movie, you don't need to watch it. Okay, so let's talk about some current movies. And these are people, human beings that are making these movies and writing these movies and directing these movies and funding these movies and whatever. So we're all living in the same world. We're all sharing the same world, same ideas. So one thing is, I don't think think we all have equal importance on this earth, depending on how you use your time on earth. And I think people that spend time nurturing their family and having a family and loving another human being and whatever, are doing your work, loving your work, and those two endeavors are, and there's multitude of those of reasons why we're here. I think there's equally important, if not, depending on the person, how they use their time and whatnot. And just because you do a lot of work doesn't mean you're more important than the guy that, or the woman that sits on the beach or the side of the road or whatever and meditates or whatever they do, sells oranges or whatever. So, okay, so movies. I kind of, this is stuff that my head's so full of, like, all these things I want to say and I need to say, and then some things I don't even want to say, but that's part of my personality too, I guess. And I keep thinking, like, oh, maybe I don't need to say, I don't need to talk about this or that, and it's every stray thought that's in my head. But I'm here to talk about stuff. Okay, so let's talk about some movies, some current events. My hair's growing out, so I don't know how these videos are gonna look. I know I look pretty crazy in San Jose with my beard and my hairdos. So this is okay, man. So I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna part my hair, how I'm gonna let it grow. Sorry, this is like I'm watching myself as I talk. So I can't help but worry about my hair. Sorry. Okay, so my movie reviews. I'm a music buff, and this is some of the movies that I'm going to talk about. So I just watched Star Wars, right? So Star Wars, and the DC movies, the Justice League, and the Batman versus Superman, and Superman, Man of Steel, and the Wolverine movies, the Marvel movies, Blade Runner, that's one. What else? I didn't watch Cars. So I'm trying to think of the movies that were just in the theaters that I watched. And, I am a sci-fi buff guy. So the movies that are in sci-fi or, superhero genre, like, those are the ones that are interesting to me. Are the ones that I have stuff to comment about. The RoboCop, I guess you're coming up with the RoboCop movie. Okay, so I wanted to start off with Star Wars. No, I didn't really want to start off with Star Wars, but let's talk about Star Wars. So, Star Wars. The first three, this is my personal opinion, I'm going to go through it so I don't talk about Star Wars like this, again, so might be boring. So, Star Wars, the first three, amazing, ultimate, classic. I didn't watch, the first one I watched was the one with the Ewoks, I think. that was my time, like the Ewok movie, because it was in theaters and um, I got to go and watch it in theaters. So that was like amazing. And I watched the other one probably on TV or something. I don't know. And during this time, it took a year or something for the movies even to get on video cassette or whatever. So Return of the Jedi was also amazing. I probably watched that first, but not in theaters. Um, and I remember Star Wars. I remember Star Wars like in my mind, like so. I seen the movies before Ewoks, but not Return of the Jedi. Empire Strikes Back. Um, but I seen the first Star Wars, and I remember thinking like, "What the heck is this?" It was a weird, like one of those TV movies that you watch on TV that's like has, you know, commercials, and so it's like it could be just on the background, something that you never, you're not really watching, but it's just like catches your interest. And so you catch the movie halfway through or something. So it was one of those movies where I was like, "Whoa, that's a cool space movie or whatever." And as a kid, of course, it's cool. Like it was almost too adult for me. Like I didn't understand the story, like the robots walking through the desert, and like it was slow. It was kind of slow, but it was cool. The bar scene where the aliens are there and Han Solo gets introduced and whatever he's shooting. And I remember that too. And then but more in my memory was the one with Yoda and Luke Skywalker. And I remember watching that also on TV, but it was like, whoa, what is, like, that was just cool. Like, that was more action, Darth Vader's all. Anyway, so those two movies kind of mix in together. The third one was Ewoks. Loved it. People talk about it, but that movie was, from the first time I watched it to the last time, I could watch it right now and probably shed a tear when the Ewoks or one dies and the other one's like trying to wake him up, and that was like I even just thinking about it makes me sad. Um, um, so amazing movies. Part two, the return of Star Wars. The first three: Darth Maul, Anakin, and Juju Jaja, whatever his name is, Juju Binks, Jaja Binks. I have a consensus with most fans or people that those movies were. I barely watch them. Like I probably would like them now just because at least there's somebody else trying to make the movies better. He probably made them not that good so he could sell the property so they can make good movies. Because if you make a bunch of classics and then the next ones come out and they're not that good, like whoever bought them is not going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? They're going to want you to make the movies. So since he made them not that good, but people still bought everything, it's good for the next company to build on that and make them better. So that's my personal theory on the genius of George Lucas. Who knows? Maybe that's just coincidence, but and the stories did have a very important message. The second three movies, the whatever they're called, I don't even know what they're called. The 1, 2, and 3 story. There'll never be 1, 2, and 3 to me. Okay, so anyway, so those the second three movies, I gotta watch them again. But really, when I watched them, they were not even close to me thinking like the actors. It was really the acting. The stories probably was pretty good. The acting, not so good. Or cinematography. I don't know what it was. It was just, I don't know. Like everyone else said too, it was very stale or very sterile. Sterile. It was too clean, too perfect, too whatever. So the next three movies, these new ones, um, they're like every fan, it's not even like something that I thought would happen first of all, and then, but what they did was interesting. I like it. It's a little too much, as far as like, um, what do you call that? Well, kind of not too much, but maybe a little overkill on affirmative action. And not to say that I don't want people of color in movies, like that's the opposite of what I think. But the actors maybe that they chose are not that charismatic. First of all, I don't really think so. I don't really, as a person of color, be like, yeah, I want to be that guy, or I'm so happy that guy's awesome. Which there's TV shows and movies that I'm like, oh, okay, that person's awesome. And I'm glad they got that strong, Mexican dude in that movie. Good, relatable character and whatever. Celebrity. These guys are cool. I don't want to take nothing away from them. I'm glad. I think they're going for something else. But as a kid, I wouldn't really. There are no Han Solos in it. There's no Luke Skywalkers in it. Like the girl is even average. I mean, it's cool. It's going. It's good. And it's probably because they want, they still have the main stars in the movies. So I would think that, these actors are going to grow into their role, be characters like the black guy, Finn, like, I don't know, his haircut is like a nerdy black guy, which is, maybe they're going for. I don't know what they're going for. I don't understand quite. Out of everyone they could pick to have that actor be Finn. Even though he's likable, he's not the best young black character they could have as an actor. And that's my opinion. The other X-wing fighter guy, he's all right. Still not charismatic enough to have a movie. Not a Han Solo guy. Not a Han Solo guy. But I guess he's like East Indian. I don't know what he is. Like he's the mixture of like every. I like the storyline. I really like the last one that just came out. The what was it called? The Last Jedi, and or was it the Last Jedi? No, the Last Hope, or I don't know what the New Hope, or the second one that came out. No, I don't know, the first one maybe, where they're like, hey, we're rebels. With the robot, there's a robot and the main character girl, and I guess that's the first one that came out. But I like the idea that they're putting some real stuff in there. And these are global movies. That's my opinion. They're not American movies. They're made in America, but they're global. So the money that they're making, kind of like Avatar, they're not. They're using big industry and big government as a bad guy, and these small rebels as the good guys. So they're selling a lot of money. Are making a lot of money selling tickets around the world. So at the same time, Hollywood's producing, war movies as well. So I don't take nothing away, even though I have opinions and biases, like my love, my want to, my ability to understand is more important than to like, I understand, make war movies, that's fine, like that's what it is. It's always what it is. Every country has their own propaganda, and as a perspective of a soldier, you need to have movies that represent you, and we're all, like I said, we're all humans, so whatever group you're in, you get a movie. So Star Wars just happens to be affirmative action movie at the moment. And I know a lot of white folks probably laugh at that, and a lot of brown folks, maybe some of them will be like, oh. but it's true. It's just what it is. It's probably good, who knows? I don't know. We'll see. I like the movies. So far, I enjoy the movies. That's the bottom line. Enjoying the storyline, enjoying the movies. Um, because I do agree with, I like the strong woman character. I just watched Hunger Games, and I'll talk about that next, in the next video. But I like British. It's kind of like affirmative action, but not really. Like they still got like the British people as the bad guys and as the good guys. Like I don't know the redheaded guy. I don't know what his role is. Like if he's supposed to be Irish or Scottish. I don't know why they would put a redheaded guy in there as a weak bad guy. I had this conversation with a girl she's a friend of mine. She's redheaded, and it's like, why you always have to make redheaded people bad guys or weak or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know if that's true. That statement is true or not, but whatever. But the main character is a girl, which is cool. She would have been way cool. Maybe not the American audience or whatever, but it would have been way cool if she was black or brown or even Asian. That would have made a strong statement. That would have made a very powerful statement on real change. Not to say that, white women, British women are less important, but we've seen it already. We've seen it. It's been done. It keeps getting the same movie over and over and over. Like, I haven't watched the movie, but like you can count how many movies where white Hollywood women and British people are the main characters in the story. So I like her. I'm not saying I don't like her. I like the movie, but I just don't think that Star Wars really took a chance. They really didn't take any chance. They did, but not a real chance. Not like something that's going to revolutionize our culture or way of seeing. Like not art. It's not real art. It's just it's a feel good movie. Go to movies and have a good time. Make you feel better. That there's people of color, for the liberals, for the other people that hate the new Star Wars, and the alt right people. And I say alt right, like I don't really follow the politics about that group or whatever, so nobody get too crazy on me. You're already crazy. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, like what do you call that? The right wing or whatever. Like left wing, right wing, same bird. Right wing folks are. Some people are not happy with the new Star Wars because of the people of color in it. Whatever. Propaganda. It's like I like it. I like that. Things are always getting mixed up. Like good. The world is always going to be like that. Anyway. So back to Star Wars. Back to the future. So Star Wars as a creative piece from an artist, it's interesting because it's the same story, but I think they're gonna go in a direction where it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna get better. I hope. Like it's good already, but it's gonna. I understand like putting out product that is people are used to. So yeah, they're not stupid. They're doing good. Disney. As a artist, it's just fandom stuff. Watch the movie. The Han Solo. I think they're gonna make a Han Solo. They're gonna make like other movies, so I think it's gonna be. They can really creatively do some really cool stuff with it, fun stuff, and artistic stuff. So that's that movie though. Let's see. So the storyline: Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Leia. It's interesting to me because the bad guy, their son, actually looks like my son. It's fucking crazy, dude. Like, I don't know what the heck, why that's crazy to me, but. And this, everyone that knows me and whatever knows, um, it's all this crazy shit. So that's like just a little another nugget. Throw that nugget in the bucket, the other nuggets. So, um, so the guy kills his dad. Interesting, whatever. He's a bad guy. He wants to be Darth Vader. Um, Darth Vader actually kicks ass in this movie. Like, he moves and like a young man or whatever. So I kind of like the old man style where he oops, stupid thing. Where he is, I don't know, just cooler. I don't know. Okay, so I actually like the good guys. I'm a good guy kind of guy. Like my character, like I always root for the hero, I guess. Some movies maybe not, but most movies, yeah. Okay, so like Captain America, I like Captain America. Like, you gotta really like good guys to like Captain America. So, um, let's see. What else? That's really it on that Star Wars movie. Oh yeah, the new one. What is it called? Um, the Last Jedi. It also goes to the. I think all these movies are like the common theme in a lot of these movies are aliens, first of all, and then the dimensional stuff. So I feel, Hollywood and government, they're kind of together, obviously. Like, maybe some people don't realize that or think about it, but it's definitely, you can't function in a society without bowing down to the king. Um, so you know, like if you got a bunch of money, of course you're gonna lobby to the politicians, like, or whatever, tax breaks, all that stuff. Make your empire. Um, that was not a intended pun, by the way. Okay, so that movie, whatever. So we watched it. It was interesting. Some parts you can think of as a little referencing whatever. Um, Overall good. Like the arms dealer stuff too. That was interesting. Okay, so what's another one? The Justice League movie. Let's talk about that one first. Well, I watched it a burnt copy, and that was interesting. Thought they were good. Okay, so let's start from Man of Steel to Batman versus Superman, the new ones, the new group of, and we could even throw Suicide Squad in there too. But that's kind of a separate movie. It was interesting, but okay, Suicide Squad. I haven't watched it for a while, but when I first watched it, it was alright. It was good. Everything was good, but the bad guys. Like, I didn't like that the bad guys were all like rocks or whatever, and that there was some evil Earth demon thing, Mother Nature thing. I don't know what that was. The ancient Medusa lady. Why? Because that's kind of, they throw in the Aztec, Mayan, Mesoamerican kind of theme as a bad guy again, and I don't like that they keep throwing my culture, whatever your perspective is on religion and world creation and politics or racism or whatever that is called, ethnic people, as anyway, yeah. which is stupid. That's like as stupid as saying white people, ethnic people, like everyone else is ethnic. I don't know. Okay, anyway, let's go. So that as a bad guy, that's stupid. Why? Because it's just feeding fear. So that kind of takes away every other. And then the Indian guy got killed real quick, like Native American dude, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, really? There was a Mexican guy. Oh yeah, that guy, the fire guy. Also, glad that they had the Mexican dude, stereotypical vato mat. And I come from vato land, so like, not that I am a vato, but I am a vato, but in a different way. But that's my family, so I'm very weary or leery of when I see that in Hollywood, how they portray us, my family. So I didn't like it enough to think that character was awesome. Like, you know, whatever. I mean, it's cool. Kind of like Training Day. Those characters are like, we're in the movie, but whatever. So that's not the important part. But yeah, it was all right. I like Will Smith's character. That was good. The girl, she's an interesting actor. I just saw something with her and Will Smith as in another movie that they did together, and that was interesting. I never knew her before that movie, for Suicide Squad, so I didn't watch the other movie. Um, but so yeah, Suicide Squad. So could have been better if the bad guys were better bad guys. Like those guys have guns and bats and like like alligator guy. Like, dude, fight like some street crime. How you gonna go to like some people that have magic and all this stuff like that or whatever? Like, no. Her baseball bat was not gonna break creatures made of rock and whatever magic creatures. So no, that was one of those movies that could have been good, but just like, like maybe if I watch it again, it might be better. But I was really hoping it would be better, but whatever. That's that movie. So Man of Steel, I thought was really interesting. They seem to keep carrying the theme on of this Mesoamerica stuff, where Superman is from Metropolis or not Metropolis, from Krypton. And Krypton, the technology and everything looks black. Everything's black and everything's dark and everything's kind of portrayed how they portrayed it in Apocalypto, the Aztec movie from Mel Gibson, where his suit is even kind of like a hummingbird, which is a part of the Americas, what do you call it? This continent's stories. So it was interesting. I thought that was interesting. The reality is our culture is not dark. I mean, maybe they portray us as death and celebration of death and human sacrificing and all this stuff like that. But I believe, just like the Mexicans right now, like we have a love for life and dancing and music and bright colors. So the reality is that we like bright colors. We like the sun. We like same thing as everyone else, but like if you notice the colors of the buildings and everything, like bright color. We love murals, all that stuff. So there's a consensus of my culture having that, and I believe that the Aztecs and the Mayans and all the Toltecs and everyone had that same kind of culture. The gardens were beautiful, all that stuff. So that I'm still waiting for that to be portrayed. You know, kind of like the Hawaiians, almost like similar. I think philosophy of colors in life, like so. I don't know. That's what I believe. Um, so the Man of Steel is interesting. You know, kind of how they put in Batman versus Superman, where he's like goes to the Day of the Dead festival, all the Mexicans with their skull face paint are like all like oh. So, you know, the underlying theme of these is I don't know what they're trying to say about Superman, but maybe it's they know something I don't know, but maybe there's something that because his suit gets lighter, so maybe that is a truth of things change, things are changing, so maybe there's something interesting about that. I don't know, but the Batman versus Superman. Okay, first of all, Man of Steel, the guy killed the guy at the end. I don't know. But it leads into Batman Superman, makes the story better. Um, Kevin Costner is the father. I don't know. That just reminds me of Field of Dreams, which I watched again, and that was like an amazing movie. So I don't know. I believe that they probably use these actors for whatever reason. I don't know. And at least in the viewer's mind, we have connection. We make the connections sometimes to like what movies they played here and whatever, what characters they play, and their whole career. So it goes deep, man. Our thoughts are like our way our minds connect things is interesting. Um, okay, so that one, and then what else? Yeah, so Batman versus Superman, hella crazy. The little black car that he used at the beginning, that was crazy because my dad had one of those, and I'd have to drive one of those, and I was like, "What the hell? Batman's driving a little bat car." Totally unnecessary, but interesting. So yeah, so everyone hated it as far as like whatever mass media world, but it was a good movie. Ended up being good. Great movie. Wonder Woman was great in that movie. Loved it. Watched her movie again. The first time I watched it, it was from a burnt copy. I didn't really enjoy it. The second time I watched it not too long ago, I rented it when I moved back to Oroville here, and it was interesting. Like it was better than the first version. Still a little slow. Still a little not as Wonder Woman. Not as amazing like action. It was kind of like the first Captain America movie. It was like not as superhero-y as it should have been. Kind of playing it safe. It was like more of a World War II movie, but not a great World War II movie. Like the actor Captain Kirk, like I wish they would have got another actor. That probably would have made the movie great. Their their what do you call that? Their on-screen, like them together, the girl and the guy, like not. Maybe it was probably better because she was the star of the movie, so maybe that was better than having another guy actor, outshine her. So maybe that was the reason. Her as Wonder Woman, thought it was great. She's hella sexy, great. I like how she has an accent, all that stuff. It reminds me of my ex-girlfriend, one of my ex-girlfriends. So yeah, I'm a fan of Wonder Woman. Not a fan of Captain Kirk, but kind of interesting because in the cartoon, kind of like he's supposed to be like I think his name's Steve, like a Captain America guy, World War II kind of thing going on. So I don't think that was in the original comic books. Maybe it was, but now it's part of the story of Wonder Woman. It's alright. Like the movie, decent. The next movie, what else? Batman vs Superman, interesting. Like the movie, and Justice League, that was good. That was more interesting. I like that one the best. That one was a great movie. Okay, so we're going on 45 minutes. I think I'm gonna end it here. I'll talk to you guys later, maybe tonight, and talk about more movies. But I'm gonna make an art blog. So today's my first art blog where I'm just gonna talk about art or show some art. Begin that thing. And okay, peace in the Middle East. Peace in the West. West Coast.